7. Let's get unscrewed with Jason Bryant live here in the Kiwi studio, unscrewed.co.nz. Hey, Jason.
Good morning, Wammo. I've just got to apologise to Kimbra because I didn't know who she was. Oh. And so I was asking her publicist all about her. So, yeah, right. My apologies. It just shows my age.
I'm sure she was absolutely gutted.
Devastated. Yeah. I saw her. There was a tear in her eye out there.
Yeah. And, of course, we've still got the Daily Dump Snow Report guys, Ryan and Lachlan, with us.
We're hanging out for the wine tasting. Yeah, well, and Kimbra, of course.
Fair enough.
I'm just about to take you on a carnival ride of wine experience here. Because we don't do carnivals, really, do we?
Well, we do.
Oh, no, we do.
It's funny you should mention that.
Funny I should mention that.
I just got a bunch of candy floss sent by 42 Blow. I don't know what they're up to, but anyway, it's his Carnival 42. So.
Mr. Glenn Williams.
Yes.
You sound like a country singer.
Oh. Yeah. Someone else said that to me recently. They said, "Oh, weren't you that guy who died?"
No.
How does that work?
Yeah, exactly.
So what are we going to talk about today, Glenn?
Well,
or Wammo, I should say. I'm not comfortable calling you Glenn.
You're the talent. You
really
to come in and suggest.
I was just
obviously wine.
Oh yeah, obviously, right. So I was just talking about carnivals. We called them fairs, where you got candy floss was fairs. They weren't carnivals. Carnivals were kind of street processions. So there's a real.
Oh yeah.
And it used to end at a fair where you used to get your candy floss.
Right.
That's the
back in the old country, in the old days.
Yeah, the mother nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But
gosh, you've got a lot to talk about this week, haven't you?
Why?
Well, you've. I know one thing you have been doing. You've been test driving a car.
Yeah, and I've got to say that it gamed me into driving very passively. I was really, really, really appreciative of fuel consumption. Starting and stopping.
Why?
In this car, because the dashboard changed colour every time.
What is it?
It's a Honda Insight.
Yeah.
And it's an eco. It saves 40% of fuel consumption.
Yeah.
And the dashboard used to change colour. If you put your foot down, it turned an angry blue.
Right.
But if you took off gently, it was nice and green and really soothing and calming. And it made me drive with the environment in mind.
Yeah.
I was very slow at taking off.
But that's how you have the fuel consumption reducing.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
And it's got this other...
It's psychological.
Yep, and it worked, and it gamed me into driving with a bit of respect for other drivers.
Were you driving with the environment in mind, or you just didn't want the car glaring at you with blue eyes?
I didn't want the car glaring at
me
with this angry royal blue, telling me that I was being bad for the environment. So I drove with all intention of keeping it green and calm.
Does it make you want to buy a hybrid?
Yep, I was really impressed. Although my partner Liz she got in the back when I was being chauffeur, and she banged her head because it slopes quite a bit on the back.
Oh yeah,
and so it's really a car for two adults and some kids in the back.
Yeah,
not for adults in the back.
It's funny, because being hybrid, they want to make them sort of more futuristic looking at the same time, as well as being.
And they've done a really good job. I've got to say, and I really liked it. And I did I didn't want to kind of take it out of town and do all the things that to reduce my kind of fuel.
You didn't want to make it angry, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to make it angry, so I just did what I normally do with a car, my own car, and drove around town doing all the normal things that people do. And I did about 85k over the weekend, which isn't a great deal, and I used just a smidgen of petrol. But I found I was up to 7.1 litres per 100k, which is quite high.
Good. Now, have you heard about people complaining that these cars are too quiet, the hybrid cars?
Yeah.
So they were going to put an artificial sound on the front to make it sound like the car was running.
They have, but it's a very strange sound. They've done it with one particular model. I can't remember what it is, but I saw a report on it, and the sound it makes doesn't sound like a car, so it's just confusing still.
Right.
I would have a little voice. If anybody walked close to the car, I'd say,
"Hey,
you do realise I'm here?
Yeah.
You do realise I'm here?
But
you do realise I'm here?"
But when you're driving one of those, do you also think, well, is it turned on? You know, when you're stopped,
when you stop, everything really shuts down apart from the air conditioning, and so it's quite spooky initially, but you still get really good takeoff as well if you plant your foot.
Yeah.
And I had a lead foot obviously over the weekend, and Simon Young, who also had the car, he was at 6 litres per 100k.
Yeah.
And I thought there I was the greenie. Wrong.
Yeah. Be interesting to see how it does, or it probably has been in one of those races before, you know, that goes the length of the country.
Oh, yep. I was pretty keen. Someone's going to take the car from Auckland to Wellington and back,
Yeah.
and see how far they can get.
Okay.
This weekend, I think.
Does this car just get passed around? Is it like
Yeah,
anyone in
pretty much.
Auckland can?
It's a slut
can come and
car.
drive it?
Yeah.
We don't call it like that.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
Have a bit of respect for her.
Else it'll get angry at you, Wammo.
So anyway, there's no kind of segue into this one. We're just going to cut to the chase. Trinity Hill, Hawke's Bay. Have you been to Hawke's Bay?
Not
No.
yet.
Worth going to if you're into your wine.
Yep.
Especially red wine, especially Syrah. Off the Gimlet Gravels. Let me pour some here. This is the 2010 latest release. And as you can see, it's quite plum coloured. Oh, okay, I'll do this.
Yeah.
I'm all good in a beaker.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice. Thank you. Actually, I think that beaker is actually a wine glass. I'm not sure.
Whiskey, yeah.
Anyway.
And so this is their latest release, 2010, really good vintage. And Syrah obviously kind of comes from, or should come from, Hawke's Bay.
Right.
And it's beautiful. And Trinity Hill, ironically, I'd written up my top 5 wineries to visit during the Rugby World Cup, because there's a few games down there. And these guys hadn't contacted me at all. And so I put their name into it because I thought architecturally it's pretty funky and the wines are really, really good, and they make a Tempranillo, which is fantastic. And open the door, step outside, 2 bottles of Trinity Hill.
Oh, there you
Just
go.
waiting for you.
Just waiting.
So you just get cars waiting for you at your door.
Cars, wine.
Women.
Used to be. Yeah. Used to be. Okay.
Right, let's give it a good old sniff-a-roo.
So with the New Zealand Syrah, you tend to get a bit of kind of cracked white pepper, black pepper on the nose. It's got a real kind of peppery, spicy nose, and then you get the dark fruits, the blackberries, the plums. Yeah, you getting that?
Yep, I can smell that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's a fresh and fruity fruits of the forest.
Yeah, it's a
big
young
pepper.
it's a young pup, right?
Okay.
A lot of primary fruit there.
Yeah.
It's all fruity at the front. You get that really kind of racy, spicy acid go through as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you get a bit of drying at the back, a little bit of tannin, but it's still soft and supple, and
She's a little monster.
she is. I mean, she's quite youthful. And this is 2010, so it's going to age for another 5 years before it kind of hits its straps. So
Really? So you could sell her at what price point?
kind of $20.
Okay.
Yeah. So even the daily dump people can afford it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're hoping that it just gets delivered to our front door.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. You probably get kind of cameras, and you get snow stuff, ski stuff, snowboarding stuff.
Good red wine.
You can never go past good red wine. Yeah, let's be honest.
Coming from Aussie, you'd probably appreciate this.
Oh, it's a bit harsh. We make some amazing reds.
They call it Shiraz over there.
Shiraz.
Yeah,
yeah.
Shiraz.
And it would be like 7:45
Yeah.
in Australia.
Quite cheap.
Well, in the morning.
Early. Yeah, it's about 7:45 in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right
So
now.
this is an early drop.
Well, it's the way to start the weekend, right?
Very nice. The Trinity Hill 2010
89
Syrah.
points.
89 points.
Yeah.
Okay. No doubt will improve over time.
Because this is the one... Oh, can I just add a little bit? This is the wine that you and I tasted across Skype, but that was the 09,
Oh, it was too.
when I was down in Hawke's Bay.
And that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Mm.
I can't remember the points off the top of my head, but it just shows you the consistency and the skilled winemaking crafts that go on in Trinity Hill.
Nice work, Trinity Hill.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Jason. Unscrewed.co.nz is where you can hear it as well. Time now here on